What's he doing?
The hell is that? He dumped something down that pipe.
Wrapped in a sheet.
Hey sexy monkeys, we got Jeepers Creepers 4 coming out later this month and it looks like garbage already and I'm so pissed. How is these movies going so terribly? Because the first movie, which is I'm going to talk about right now in this video, is so fucking amazing, it's so masterful, it's great. And now we get this garbage shit. And Jeepers Creepers 4 comes out later this month. I figured I'd dig into the franchise a little bit. So I'll be doing movie reviews for 1, 2, and 3. And I got a segment called The Original versus Sequel, so it'll be the first movie versus the second one. Which one is better? But this one is a movie review for the original Jeepers Creepers that came out in 2001, which is R-rated and it's a horror mystery genre, and it's about an hour and 30 minutes long, so it's just a great amount of time, not too long, not too short. And the director and writer, I will not say his name at all in any of this, movie reviews, segments, whatever I do, because you all know why. And if you don't know why, Google it. He's a POS, can't stand the motherfucker. But you gotta realize there's actors, crew members, so many people that are involved to make a movie where just because the director did something terrible in the past, don't worry. Like, this movie is great for other reasons besides that fucking person. Great other stuff, and I cannot wait to dig into it. The people I will talk about, though: Gina Phillips, she plays Trish, the sister of Derry, which is played by Justin Long. And Justin Long, this is like his breakout role. And one thing I love about this movie is their acting, their chemistry.
You know which cow?
That's the song. That's the song. The words the same. Listen.
Where did you get those eyes? What is the matter with you?
That's the song. It's the same song that she was playing.
Great chemistry between Trish and Derry. It's just unbelievable. And their whole movie, it's around them. They're literally 95% in this movie. There's not a scene really without them. Unless it's like pretty much just the creeper's point of view. But Jonathan Beck, he plays the creeper. Fantastic. Just fantastic. And really those three are really the main, acting characters that just stand out. Quick and simple, the plot is you have brothers and sister, Derry and Trish, are going across town, and they go across the creeper. And it's that simple. And the whole point of this movie is them just trying to get away. They're escaping. They're trying to get away from this unknown person.
Turns out you're a twin. Jesus. What the hell's his problem?
Just get out of his way, Derry!
Creature that are chasing them through this, unknown territory. They're just like, I want to get the fuck out of here. So it's simple, easy to follow. Boy, girl, creature. Escaping the creature. Simple, easy to follow. And personally, I watched this movie. Alright, so it came out when I was 11 years old. I was born in 1990. I used this movie so many times to watch with a girl, to have come over, hang out, and just do all that stuff. The Netflix and chill back then. I used this movie so much because it was so terrifying. It scared so many girls every time. I love this movie, so I got a lot of personal reasons why I love this movie.
Universal Pictures presents everything you always wanted to do in high school with everyone you always wanted to do it with.
Hey, bud.
My first thought that comes to mind is just the creature reveal. How it reminds you of Jaws. It's just a slow motion till you see it. But with this creature, it's all about the shadows, the image. And you think it's a human at first, but the closer and closer you get to that creature and further throughout the movie, you slowly realize that's not a human. Wait, what is that? And then you see the wings pop up and you're like, what the hell? And then he starts eating body parts to regenerate that body part, and you're just, where are we going with this? And then at the very end, the full reveal when the cops are, all the lights on him, and he has his face, the tentacles come out, and he does that screech. fucking god. That is one of the best creatures we've had for a long time. And the director, his inspiration was, he's not the Michael, Freddy, Jason type. He's not, the main three type. He's that universal monster type, the creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein, that era. He's all about, like I said, the shadows and the image, and you see it like the Scarecrow. It gets you, man. It's terrifying. Cinematography really stands out. For example, the cars. So when the truck is coming up to Trish and Derry at one scene, the camera angles like on the wheels and the side of the car, just angles you never really seen at all. And then between the cop car and then the brother and sister driving, they go back and forth instead of cutting. That was really sweet. And then when they pulled up to the church and the camera starts on the ground and then they crane it all the way up to the top when they realize it's a church, that was pretty fucking sweet. But the camera angle, really the cinematography, was awesome on this. The sound editing was terrifying. For example, when that creature is eating one of the inmates in the jail, you don't see anything. You're looking in the back of the creature and all you hear is what's going on. And it just sounds so terrifying. And also on the radio in the jail scene, they're talking to the guys below and they're just on the radio about what's going on. You don't see it, but just hearing it is just terrifying.
Ramirez, he's hurt bad. The son of a bitch, he tried to take a bite out of him.
He what?
This guy is wearing something, Sarge. Because I'm a son of a bitch, but we cannot take him down.
What the hell do you mean, wearing something?
You think it was crazy? I told you what this looked like. But this is about the weirdest fucking body armor you've ever seen.
It's absolutely terrifying. But the sound of, like I said, the creature eating. Ugh. But then the fucking horn on the truck reminds me of that Mad Max horn. But it's like, dude, that horn you'll never forget. Man, that song, the Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes? The it just sticks to you. That's one of the first things I thought of, and I absolutely love it. I mean, the song, I believe, came out 1938. Yeah, it came out in 1938, so it's an old song, but I like when they add stuff like that into this. One thing that really sticks out why this movie is just amazing is the ending. It's just like, usually the killer does not get away, does not get what it wants. The hero saves the day. Nope. Not this. You just can't stop this fucking monster. It plowed right through this whole movie. And at the very end, like, oh, he's about to get, taken down. Nope, he grabs fucking Darian and see ya, bye. And you're just like, he got away. He actually, what? That's not what's supposed to happen. That blew my mind. At least at the time watching it, it blew my mind because I'd never really seen that. I was just like, oh, he actually got away. I loved it. I love it, and I think it's really clever. It's nice to have that mystery element, kind of like Michael Myers in Halloween, to the point of the mystery of what is this creature, because in real life you would not have enough time to really figure this out.
What the hell is that thing?
If this happened in real life, you won't have 5-10 minutes. There's no way you're gonna figure out what this creature is in real life if this happened to you. So it was nice they kept that element out. They tried to throw that shit in too, and it's like, I'll get into that in the second one, but I'm glad they just kept it just a mystery of like, what is this? We don't have a fucking clue what this is. I love that because it gives us fans, you know, something to talk about, to keep the movie alive, keep it going, and it gives you something for a sequel, third movie, and so forth. And I'm glad they kept just like nothing at all. It does have a great pace to it. Like, it gives you time to breathe sometimes, but then it sets up for that great climax at the jail where it just hits you like 3 different ways in the jail cell, where it's just boom, boom, boom. And it's just crazy. Like I said, up to the end where he just takes off. But that climax that was worth watching.
Get upstairs! Now!
Surprisingly, this movie was dumped on Labor Day weekend, and up to this point was really the weekend of like, we just want to push you out there, and it's not good. But this movie actually broke the weekend record for Labor Day weekend. And the next year they put out like Fear.com, and it just bombed. But then Jeepers Creepers 2 came out the year after that, Labor Day weekend, and broke this record. So they have 2 really good records of breaking on Labor Day weekend. I got some interesting things that I think you guys might think would be cool about this. The Creeper actually had a line where he actually spoke. And if you watch the movie, it's just muted out. You can see his lips moving. It's when he's holding that cat lady and you see his face the first time. He actually says, don't smell too good, Darius, and then throws her. And you can see the lips moving, supposedly. So I think that's pretty cool. There was an ending that was cut out where Darius, you know, they get in the truck, the Creeper's truck, and they're getting away, and the Creeper's flying, and they're trying to catch up, and the Creeper catches up, and there's a train involved, and they somehow like get on the other side of the train, and they think, oh, we got it. But then the Creeper, this is when it like flies over the train, and that's where it's revealed that it can fly. That was cut out. Original title was called Here Comes the Boogeyman. So it did go through different titles, so that was interesting. But some of you guys might know, if you watched Unsolved Mysteries, there's that 1990 episode.
Did you know, in the Jeepers Creepers film, Salva has said it's a complete fiction, but the movie's first 20 minutes bear a striking resemblance to a 1991 episode of Unsolved Mysteries, centering on the case of Dennis Depew, a Michigan man who allegedly killed his wife in 1990 and dumped her body behind an abandoned school.
From the last name I cannot pronounce, but it's from a real case, and if you watch the episode, it's identical to the movie. I think it's kind of funny, to be honest. Francis Ford Coppola, he was a huge inspiration for this movie. He was a friend of the director. I almost said the name. But he was a friend of the director, and the director was about to sell this to Sony Pictures, and Francis Ford Coppola jumped in and was like, oh, no, timeouts. I want to use this as a 10-picture deal with MGM. So he got MGM to back up this movie. It was part of that 10-picture deal. So Francis Ford Coppola is a producer for this, which, you know, it gave him a good production value of $10 million. And that's why this movie actually has a chance, because it has $10 million compared to Halloween's, you know, $500,000. So you really see the $10 million used really well in this. And Francis Ford Coppola, you know, thank you, baby. You saved the movie. The director is a big fan of Hitchcock. So if you watch that one scene when the truck is first revealed within like the first 5 minutes, that whole scene is kind of like Duel. That was an inspiration of Hitchcock, and that's kind of like called the Hitchcock reveal, I guess. But it just shows that he has a nod for really great, you know, filmmakers, and you see it in this film. So with the ending, it's nice because some people think a big explosive climax ending is the best way to go, but no, sometimes emotional is a really good ending to go. And this was an emotional ending of, spoiler alert, the brother gets taken and he's gone. And you're like, what the fuck? It's very emotional. So it does work, and I like it. This movie also, what's really nice is it brings the audience into the movie. It makes us use our brain. It's not like a sit back and watch. It's kind of like, it really makes you think a lot. It really does, like, what the fuck? What is that? Because you're trying to stay with the characters, because you're learning along with the characters. And there's even some times where you're watching this movie and you see things before the character on screen does, and it makes you just want to freak out and jump. Halloween does that. I think this movie takes a lot of inspiration from Halloween, because also what they do from Halloween is this movie starts out wide, wide angled, open, daylight. You can just go like any direction, you're safe. And it ends in a very small, tight room, just like in Halloween, where she's in the closet. And it starts out with them, out walking at the school, daylight, open town. She's in the closet with Michael Myers. Same with Jeepers Creepers. You're out driving, open, and then it ends up with them daring get taken away, and then the final moment of being, in a dungeon. So they take a lot of nod from Halloween. Overall, I think they did a great job with the suspense, the build-up, the creature, the sound editing, the acting, some cool cinematography stuff. I think this was great. It really, and had that orchestra feel to it. But it's right up there with one of the greatest horror movies in the last 20 years. It came out in 2001. It's 2022 right now, so it's been roughly 20 years, a little bit off there, but it's one of the great horror movies in the last 20 years. So it's definitely up there. And what has come after this in 2, 3, and even 4, I haven't watched 4 yet, but just by looking at the damn trailer, you can just tell this is just gonna be garbage. So I'm just like, where the fuck are we going with this? And it really sucks. It really does. But yeah, write down in the comments below, you motherfuckers, if this movie was one of you guys' favorite childhood movies. Because this sure was mine. I was 11 years old. It's one of those movies where I'll never forget watching this. And I'm curious if you guys have the same effect as I do. But I am moving on. Well, I guess I got to give a SkyGene score. I'm going to give, and this is a 9.1 out of 10, which is an A minus for me. And it's just beautiful. It's one of those rare movies that gets that 9 out of 10. It's great. It's really great. There's not many negatives about this movie. But yeah, I'm moving on to Jeepers Creepers 2 now, and it should be fun. I mean, not as fun as this one, but there's some cool stuff about Jeepers Creepers 2 I do like. So, all right, Section Monkeys. I hope you have a good day.